Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Larry and Amy's Kitchen once again. We are going to try a new recipe, or try to make something that I've never done before in the crock pot. It's called a slow cooker lasagna, and they say this recipe is so easy you might think that you're doing something wrong. So we're going to find out, because I have never done this before. Now, at the end of the video, down below in the comments section, or before you get to the comments sections, we'll have these ingredients all listed for you. But the first thing I'm going to do is I have a pound of, or maybe just a little bit more, pound and a half of ground beef here. And we are going to pour some onions over it. Plus, we're going to put a couple of teaspoons of garlic powder in with it, and we are going to cook it until golden brown. So here is our first teaspoon garlic powder, and here is our second one. Alright, let me kind of smash this down a little bit. I've got the eye turned on, so it'll take a minute to heat up. Get this all flattened out. Now, I don't know about you, but when you go to the store and you're looking to buy hamburger, what type of hamburger you get. But as you can tell probably by the looks of this hamburger here, this is more of a ground chuck variety. It's the more leaner hamburger. We have found, not only just because of the flavor, but also the shrinkage is so much less if you go ahead and spend another $1 or $2 and get a better grade of hamburger. I think in the long run you'll be so much happier when you do that. You know, beef prices have went sky high through the roof here in 2020, and they're slowly starting to come down a little bit, so maybe it won't hurt as much as it did. Here for a while, good ground beef could almost run you $6 a pound. And I think this here now that we've got, which is, as you can tell, it was pretty lean, was a little over $4 a pound. 4 1/4, something like that. And believe me, it's well worth it, because when you cook like regular hamburger patties, you'll notice in your frying pan, and I don't use anything as far as oil or anything, I just put them right in. And if I use anything at all, it'll be a little bit of water, and you'll find very little grease in the bottom of your pan when you're done cooking. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and continue to brown these hamburger and onions, and when they're done we'll come back, which will only be a split second for you, and then we'll continue on with the recipe to show you what else we need to do. Alrighty, we've been browning the hamburger and onion with garlic mixture, and now we're ready to proceed on to the next step. The recipe calls for 29 ounces or 2 of these cans of tomato sauce, to go ahead and mix them in with the hamburger mixture. Go ahead and pour the second can in. You hear our birds in the background. They just are very happy birds, and they love to chirp all day long, and so I hope they're not a nuisance to you. We enjoy listening to them and having fun with them. And then we need 1 small can of tomato paste added to this. There we go. Get that off the spoon. And last but not least, we need 1 teaspoon of oregano. So what I'm going to do is just sprinkle some out here, because it doesn't take much to equal a teaspoon. There we go. Alright, now what we've got to do, at least right now, I need to go ahead and stir this mixture up while it's cooking on the stove, or heating on a stove. Get it mixed in real good. And then we're going to make up another mixture of cheese and what have you that will need to go in the crock pot with the meat mixture. So we're going to let that heat up for a little bit, and we'll stir it again. In fact, I probably won't need that. What I'll do is use this spoon here to kind of just fold everything in. About got a full frying pan full here, so that worked out great. If I had needed a bigger pot, I could have used one. I didn't know. Like I said, we've never made this recipe before, so not a problem. Alright, while that is heating up, mixing in real good, we are going to take a bowl, set this over here. I've got a bowl right here, and we're going to add up another batch of items that will go in with the lasagna. The first thing we're going to do is take some cottage cheese. The recipe calls for a 12-ounce package. We've got a 24-ounce here, so we'll start with about half of it. And if we feel like we need more, we'll add more to it. So we're going to take about half of this cottage cheese, put it in the bowl. There we go. That's probably a little bit more than half, but it's alright. Then we're going to add in some Parmesan cheese. I think it calls for a half a cup, but I'm gonna put a cup in there, because we like a lot of cheese. It makes it nice and creamy. And then, last but not least, some mozzarella cheese, and it calls for 16 ounces, which is this whole bag. And we're going to put that in there. Okay. We'll break all that up. You know this is going to be good with all this cheese. Alright, now we're going to kind of just stir this up. The best we can. You have to get down to the bottom of the bowl so you can mix the cottage cheese in with it. I'm beginning to wonder if I don't want to go ahead and put the rest of that cottage cheese in here. since doesn't look like, in my opinion, there is enough. So I think I will. I'm going to take the rest of that cottage cheese. Like I said, we can give you the guidelines to go by to make your lasagna, but you can use your own judgment as to whether or not you want to add more or less of the ingredients that we are showing you. In this case, I'm going to add a little bit more. Mix this all up together. Okay, I think we're about to get it mixed up pretty good. So we're going to set that aside for a second. I'm going to stir our mixture that's been cooking here on the stove. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Looks like it's mixed up pretty good. Now, the first thing it says to do is to take this mixture that we just fixed and coat the bottom of the crock pot right here. I'm going to turn it on low. Now we're going to coat the bottom of the crock pot with a layer of this meat mixture. Like I said, I've never made this before, so I don't know how much. I'm just going to use my judgment. We're going to start right there. And then we're going to add a double layer of lasagna noodles. And here I've got a box of lasagna noodles. I've never used these before, so this will be a first time. I've never made lasagna, so we're going to just lay these along the bottom of the pan, and it says you can break them to make them fit. Lay a double layer. Like that. And then we're going to put one layer of our cheese and cottage cheese on top of that. Okay. Alright, then we start all over again. We're going to put another layer of the meat sauce. Then we go back to some more lasagna noodles. Set that right there. We'll break this one. And you can add these any way you want to. If you want to get a better coverage area. Okay, and we're going to add some more cheese on top of that. Like I said, we have turned the crock pot on to low. We're going to let it cook. The recipe says between 4 and 6 hours. I'm probably going to split the difference, and we'll check it after 4 hours. Okay. We're going to go back to the meat sauce again. This looks like it's going to be so good. I hope it turns out as great as they say it is, because if we like it as much as I think we are going to, then we're probably going to find this a weekly meal. Alright, let's put some lasagna noodles back in there again. And like anything, I think the more you make this, the better you'll learn how you need to do some of these. Alright, more cheese. In fact, I think I'm just going to go ahead and dump the rest of this right in there like that. And lastly, not lastly, but I'm going to put some more cheese, or the rest of our meat mixture right over this, so that we've used it all up. Just kind of spread it out a little bit. And we're going to finish by topping it off with some more lasagna noodles. Now, I can guarantee you, this recipe is probably not going to be as pretty as some of the pictures that you see. But you know what? I don't care. You know what matters is how it tastes. Alright, so we're done as far as putting the ingredients in the crock pot. So if you'll remember, we put our meat sauce on the bottom. We then put a double layer of lasagna noodles next, and then we put our cheese mixture on top of that, and then we just repeated the process over and over again until we had used up all of our ingredients or filled up the crock pot. So what we're going to do is let this go ahead and cook now slowly for about, I'm going to say 5 hours, and then we will come back and we will show you what it looks like as we begin to serve it for our evening meal. So we'll be right back. Oh, hello again, everybody. Well, it has been seriously longer than I had thought. About 6 hours since we put this slow cooker lasagna on, and I think we are about ready to sample it and see how it looks. I'm gonna go ahead and take the lid off. Remember, I've been cooking this on low, and it's been about 6 hours. So we're going to take the lid off, and we're going to take a look. Now, I checked this here, probably an hour ago, and as I was making this lasagna, if you'll remember, I put a layer of meat, a layer of noodles, and then a layer of cheese, if I believe I'm right in that order. I have noticed one thing right off the bat, which I don't think is going to be a problem. If you're making this same recipe and you leave a top layer of noodles, I'm not sure how well those are going to get done with the way I've got them here. So I don't know, it's up to you. I'll leave that up to you whether or not you want to put a top layer of noodles on this or not. The good thing about this is if you don't want them, or you do that and it doesn't turn out that great, you can just take them off and get rid of them before you serve them. So what we're going to do here is go ahead and try. Like I said, when I make something, it never turns out as pretty as probably the picture that you'll see on the recipe. But we're going to take a look here. We're going to get a scoop and see how it looks. That does look delish. And if you could smell it, I think you would know that it's going to be delicious. So there we have, let me come over here into the light a little bit better. There we have the slow cooked lasagna from the crock pot. And I believe if you love lasagna, you will love this. So we hope you'll give it a try and let us know what you think about it. It's really very easy to make once you get the ingredients together and you just layer them in the crock pot and let it do its thing. And then it's ready to be served. So we appreciate you watching the video. We would hope that you would give it a like, share it with your friends, leave a comment down below and let us know what you think about it. Let me know if you add anything that I didn't add to it, so I will know maybe what to try differently next time. But I believe this is going to be a winner. We thank you for watching, everybody, and we will catch you on the next video.